Aloha, everyone. It was obviously quite an eventful day with the Fed. What's funny is that as soon as the announcement came out, I told everybody in my chat room that I expect that the market's going to end up flat, and that's basically what we did. The NASDAQ was up 0.18%. As you can see, the oscillators continue to work off overbought conditions. They have not turned up yet, so there's no real reason to think that this market's going to break out higher, and we continue to get no follow through. And without a strong final hour and a strong final minute, you can forget about any follow through also, unless a miracle happens overnight in the after hours market. So for now, we remain in a buy signal for the NASDAQ as we bide our time moving sideways overall. The NASDAQ 100, similar situation. It's also working off overbought conditions on its oscillators. The S&P 500 was also slightly up today, 0.20%. It's still currently working off overbought conditions into oversold levels. There's no turn higher on any of those oscillators yet. Same with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, slightly higher today, working off the overbought quite nicely. The Dow Jones looks like it's trying to turn up, so we'll see if that can continue. And unfortunately, the weak index of the day was the Russell 2000, but it was basically flat, only down 0.09. Oscillators still trying to work off the overbought condition. There's no real turn higher, and unfortunately, stochastics is starting to turn lower, so we'll see how that resolves itself. The Dow Jones Transportation Average still holding those recent June lows. Its oscillators have turned up, but they're not roaring higher, whatever. So I wouldn't expect much. And on that note, with the overall good market today, though, there was still some whippy action, and we actually have some funny sell signals. Tell you what, I hate it whenever I get these kind of sell signals because they're all, how much? I'm not sure signals. So on an end-of-day basis, MLM has finally failed. It has now closing below the low of day of the signal date. My final sell stop, I believe, whenever I initially went long the position was this low of day, but the fact that it's closing below this, low of day after not going anywhere for a month, that's a final sell signal on MLM. However, if you want to see if this is a fake down, breakdown below the 50-day moving average, you can set a sell stop below 143.25 to get fully out. But MLM basically is a fail. I've already been taken out of all of it, so I have nothing to worry about. I can't remember when I was taken out of all of it, but I think it was like back here when it went below those lows. So MLM's a full sell. And then PAR, another full sell. PRR failed my final sell stop level, which I believe was 22.40. So as soon as it hit 22.39, it was sold off. Closed at 22.35, which makes it close below the 22.40 level, which officially ends it. However, I didn't know if I was going to use that as my final low a day or this 21.89. So if I would have used the 21.89 low a day, I would still technically be long par, and technically the pattern still looks pretty damn good. There's a lot of green bop in this, and really it's not that bad, even though it does have like a mini rollover. So par is a full sell. So if you want to, what you can do is if it moves below 22.19, I think that's a good enough reason you can be fully out of it. Or if not, sell half now, 21.89 final sell stop. I've been taken out of all of par, so I don't have to worry about it. And then we have some partial sells. NXPI is closing below the 50-day moving average, closing near the lows. So this one wasn't really a real fail. If it would have closed near the lows, then it's a 50% sell. But because of the intraday reversal, NXPI was not a sell on that date. So NXPI is technically a 50% sell today. I am already out. I believe it was this day that took me out of my entire position back there. But NXPI 50%. they're all like this today. And then DRRX is a speculative stock. It was technically a 50% sell yesterday, but I didn't mark it up because it's above the 50-day moving average. I was going to use the low a day. For some odd reason, I really thought it was going to bounce, but technically it should have been posted yesterday as a 50% sell. I'm not sure why I didn't. I really don't know why, because as you can see, yesterday closed below 20-day moving average and above average volume. That's a 50% sell. So if it moves below 252, it becomes a sell. But for some odd reason, I didn't post that, probably because it's speculative. So DRRX should have been listed as a 50% sell yesterday. It was not, so I'll just list it as one today since it is now officially failing the low a day, which would have been my 50% sell. Maybe that's what I did, and I forgot to post it because of the way that I did this trade. So DRRX hit 50% of my sell stops, never moved below 252. It's still a hold. My final sell stop, God, all these lines. My final sell stop, I believe, is right here. 222. So a move below 222 will have me completely out of DRRX. It's a pretty chart at first, but man, I told you, these hot Max Green Bop stocks that used to stay Max Green and have big gains, and then if they did lose Max Green Bop, they were already up so much that you didn't have to worry about these partial sell signals. Not so much anymore ever since 2008. So DRRX officially became a 50% sell signal. And then two more confusing trades. all of them tonight. Every single one, sell signals. CVTI can either be a 100% sell signal here, or it can be another 50% sell signal because we've already sold the shit out of this stock during its uptrend. It's been a terrible, terrible trending stock with lots of fake breakdowns below lows that see it bounce back and then move higher, like here, here, there, here, and now hopefully not, but hopefully here. So CVTI, you can either do 100%. Me, I only have I don't know, what is it, 20 shares left or something like that, but I don't care. It's going to be a 50% sell since BOP isn't red today, and I'll get rid of the rest once it closes below the 200-day moving average. There's no real reason to be holding to the 200-day moving average because this stock was never up more than 100%. Normally stocks are up 100%, they get held at 200-day moving average because of how slow moving the stock has been and how it doesn't really try to really break down. It's just been totally a different situation. So CVTI, 50% sell. You could also do 100%. If volume would have been huge today, sure, it's 100% sell. But volume is just barely above average, basically. It's above average, but it isn't huge compared to the other sell-offs. And it's got stronger growing BOP, so I decided to stick with 50%. So quite a confusing day of sell signals. And then on top of that, we have three new long signals. These are all pretty cut and dry, but they're all risky. So even though I recommend 2.5% of the account capital, if you do that, you must use today's low day as the final sell stop and not the lowest point in the base. So XON, it fails 45.56, you got to get out. RDUS, it fails 48.57, you got to get out. You can't wait to 46.42. And then HZMP, same similar situation. Got to get out if it fails 31.90. You can't wait to hear 30.81. So me, what I'm going to do is I don't have 7.5% of cash available in my cash account or my margin account. I don't even know what the hell's going on in my margin account. It's probably it's a mess with all these positions. But HZMP, RDUS, and XON, I'm going to split up my capital into all three positions of equal amount in the cash account. Margin account, I got to see what's going on over there, but let's just operate using the cash, as that's always the easiest for me to track with subscribers. So HZMP, pocket pivot point signal. XON, pocket pivot point signal. RDUS, pocket pivot point signal. RDUS is perfect speculator quality. Only 52 stocks qualify for that scan. RDUS is one of them. XON and HZMP are CanSlim quality stocks. HZMP was confirmed in the new 52-week high scan. XON was confirmed in the price volume BOP surge scan. RDUS was confirmed in the new 52-week high scan and in the price volume BOP surge scan. That really helps it since it's only a perfect speculator and not a CanSlim stock. The thing is, this will probably be a buyout candidate like all the other ones. And just recently, KYTH entered my perfect speculator scan right here. Or it would have been right back here. When it crossed 50, boom, right there. So KYTH enters my scan here, perfect speculator. Speculative biotech, boom. Big gap up, 74.11. And that's what normally happens. They get bought out.